All right, Madden here with Rahne in the commentator booth for this very exciting match of Meme Team versus Burt Out. Not Burnt Out, it's Burt Out because I think they wanted to say burp, but they misspelled it. That's an unfortunate mistake. Um, so very exciting match. Get some nice Apox versus some nice Tempests. Rahne, you want to talk a little bit about this Burnt Out team before we get started?
Yeah, so as Sutonia and Chester were discussing, you have not mirror setups, but you have very similar setups where obviously, like Burnt Out has the Augur, which I don't think is as good as the Exequror because that was banned, but it's still at least a Logi ship, so they have some sort of like reps on grid. And then Meme Team is there with the Osprey, which I prefer the Osprey over the Scythe, especially with these fits. So I'm pretty curious to see how these teams will handle it, especially because it seems both have at least some decent AT experience compared to being completely new to a tournament scene.
Yeah, I think the Osprey versus the Scythe isn't even a choice. I mean, the Osprey's got self-rep, and I think it also has a cap booster, and the Scythe has, I think, neither of those things. That's not like I wouldn't make that choice any day of the week. So good call on them. I think Tempest is a fun ship. I think the Apocalypse is a fun ship. I think this is going to be a good match with a lot of damage application right away. I wonder if someone's going to go after Logi. I think that Osprey may not be long for this world if Birds Out is on top of it. As you see, the warp in ranges are a mixed bag of fun zone. You see the Osprey and the Augur warp in at max range, but they did warp it at a nice angle, about maybe a 30-degree angle from each other, as the match is actually underway now, and we get to see the first primaries, which hopefully will be fun.
Yep, so they are immediately on the move, the tackle going in to try and at least catch the enemy ships, drones out.
Yeah. Algos versus Osprey is that first primary. The Algos is in low armor.
Well, Osprey's already in deep armor. He's actually finally is able to rep himself, but he's taking a lot of heavy damage. Doom Chinchilla and the Algos is dying very, very quickly, but I think they are going to trade Osprey for a Destroyer, which is perfectly reasonable.
Oh, I'd take that. I'd take that trade. Doom Chinchilla is being a hero and just staying alive. He's in almost no structure. He's on fire, but he doesn't care because that Osprey needs to die. That Osprey will run out of charges. Oh, the Algos goes down first, so first blood goes to Meme Team. But will that Osprey survive, or will this be a trade for nothing? All for naught. Hopefully not.
Yeah, and if you look, the Brutix is actually right on top of that Osprey, including the Punisher, and he is just not gonna live very long at all.
That Osprey, though, he is tanking like a beast, giving his team every chance in the world. They can put some damage onto this Punisher. There goes the Osprey. What a power! What a guy, Dante. But he went down. Now you can see there's a little bit of a split damage. In fact, a lot of split damage with the Punisher and Brutix. I don't like split damage personally, but you see the Brutix taking a lot of damage as well as the Punisher. They're actually both about to hit structure, but the Brutix doesn't care because hull tanked, while the Merlin and the Hurricane take damage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so the Burnt Out actually still has their Logi, but this Brutix is just dying, although I think it is whole buffer tank, so even though it is all out of armor, the Augur can at least keep it alive just a little bit longer. The Merlin is now down.
That disappeared. It basically, like, there was a Merlin, and then they shot it, and then it disappeared.
And if you look, actually, you can see with this new UI that they use in the Alliance tournament, Burnt Out actually isn't repping the Brutix at all. I think they are focusing on keeping that Punisher alive and letting the Brutix die. I don't know if that's deliberate or if they are just like winging it because they don't actually want to keep the Brutix around. I'm not quite sure. But the Hurricane is now almost out of shield, so he should be going down rather quickly soon.
Yeah, I actually think that's really questionable. I think it's good to not put a lot of reps into the Brutix early on because he doesn't get that. It's very much less effective on the Brutix because he doesn't have that bonus armor. He has a damage control, I believe, but that's about it. So the armor reps are much more effective on the Punisher, but it was a little bit of a late switchover. I think they were kind of leaving the reps on the Punisher, and they didn't notice the Brutix as it got down to about 25% armor, and now you can see it's really struggling. But if they can take out that Hurricane and then they can lose that Brutix, with the Logi still on field and APOC, I think they're gonna have this match, but they gotta make sure they kill this Hurricane now very quickly as that Brutix just goes down.
Yeah,
so Meme Team has the chance here.
The Brutix was actually sitting right on top of the Tempest, and it looks like it was smart bombing. I'm not sure if that was, or the Tempest was
smart bombing, actually.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it had rep drones or anything on it, but now obviously the Hurricane's down, the Brutix is gone. So it comes down to the Tempest versus Apocalypse, which everyone has been ranting and raving about.
Well, you got the Punisher too. Don't ignore the Punisher. That guy, he's a pro. He was sitting there terrified, I'm sure, but he stays alive, like a champ. And so now he gets to sit there and tackle the Tempest, sit there and make him slow and unhappy, and that means the Apocalypse is just going to hit him that much more effectively. And now basically it's an Apoc versus a Tempest. The Apoc is armor tanked and has armor, and Tempest is shield tanked and does not have shields. So I don't like its odds personally.
That is true, and I'm not quite sure what this Korax is doing. Like, the Korax is there, but he's not going in and like trying to get rid of this Punisher at all. I figured he'd be able to take it out pretty well, and they almost had the Punisher earlier, but obviously the Augur saved it. And now
Yeah, you
this
gotta
Tempest
question
is just
what he's doing.
dying.
He's
Yeah.
just out there. He's just chilling. Like he's moving, but not very quickly. And I can't really tell if it's a specific direction because it's not towards the Augur, maybe. Which I don't know. I might choose to go after the Augur, but they're going after the Apoc. I don't get that at all. But
Yeah.
that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
He's
especially now
gonna
that
die.
the Tempest is almost dead. And then I still am so confused by this Korax just hanging out. I get why the Augur is hanging out. Obviously, you don't want your Logi sitting right on top of your DPS. But this Korax has done absolutely nothing but... I think he's just like slow boating, kind of.
He
AFK.
deserved to die. Like he just turned on his prop right there. But I'm really happy. Like I'm glad they saved Cormac because he deserved to die. That was questionable.
Yeah,
And with that, he goes down, and we send it back to the booth.